Hey friends, how you doing? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am TheTranspondster and this is a speed build in The Sims 4. I am working on my realistic save file, so while I am here building in San Sequoia, I am basing it off of San Francisco. Yes, why am I second guessing myself there? It's because I'm always stuttering over my words. Anywho, this is going to be an apartment building complex. It's probably the biggest one I've done so far. We're going to the 6 max. I have done an apartment building with 6 units in it before. However, it wasn't 4 stories. It didn't really have a common area to it in the same way. It was more just a staircase. And that one I built in Del Sol Valley because that so-called starter neighborhood is severely lacking in small lots and like functional starter lots, honestly. Like the lots that they give you in the starter area are way too big. Anyway, this is going to be pretty much just one, and I'm gonna call it 1.5 bedroom apartments because the second bedroom, in my opinion, isn't really big enough for a second queen bed. So I can't honestly call it 2 full bedrooms. I would call it like 1 plus a junior bedroom. I feel like that's how it would be normally listed where I am in Canada. So that's what I'm going to go with. I did want to make it so that they had like a rooftop community area, but it didn't let me build like a little enclosure for the stairs at the top because you can't go past 4 levels without cheats and or mods. I don't actually know if cheats would suffice because I've never tried. I've never even built a 4-story lot before. This was a first in The Sims 4 for me, I think. I've never had a reason to build a lot so big, honestly. Big lots I just find, after a while, they're too big. I do, at the bottom of each side there where the balconies are, have this little 2x3 room that I make a laundry room on either side, so I like that neat added touch. You could also make one of them, as opposed to a laundry room, you could make it like a utility room with the utility items in the catalog from for rent, but I chose to just stick to laundry because I could fit 3 washers and dryers on either side, so technically every unit could do a load of laundry at the same time. I do apologize for those that don't particularly like playing with laundry because I feel it. I do for the most part just because I am a realistic gameplay kind of player. When I do play a majority of the time, I'm gonna loosely say I stray a little bit in my not so very let's plays, but I guess I'm still pretty vanilla when it comes to my gameplay. Nothing too crazy. The layout inside the apartments was probably the trickiest for me because I wanted to make sure that I had enough space, but I kind of wanted the apartments to feel a little luxury. I don't know. It just seems like such a new building that I wanted them to feel really nice and updated. I also do my usual where I only furnish the bathrooms and kitchens in unoccupied apartments. So I do have 2 apartments here that I do occupy with some Sims that you'll see the Create a Sim videos for on my channel. I'm going to say you're probably going to see one of the Create a Sim videos first, and then I don't know. I'm toying with it because I'm doing the voiceover for both the Create a Sim video and this build video. But if I release the Create a Sim video first, then I might let it slip that there's going to be an apartment build. So you know that there's going to be Sims to fill the apartments, but you don't know where the Sims are going to be living. And I don't want to give away that I'm doing an apartment build because, like, who doesn't like an apartment build? I get excited when I see apartment builds show up on the people I'm subscribed to. So, not saying that I should be tooting my own horn or anything here. I'm just making assumptions, I suppose. I don't know if this is going to be a liked feature by all, but the front desk, so to say, of this apartment complex is actually a bar. So your Sims don't need to have a bar in their apartment because they could just come down to the lobby and get a little juiced up with their neighbors. I don't know if that's something you'd want to do with your neighbors in real life, but you never know. Sims might like their neighbors. You might like your neighbors. I have no problem with my neighbors, I guess. I just don't know them that well. I also, if you didn't notice, put a pool in here. I don't know how I totally missed that. And off the back side there, I have this little like outdoor backyard space. There's a little barbecue and a hot tub that's in line with the pool. The pool in my head was more just for exercise instead of having a gym. This apartment building has a pool that you can go and swim laps in. It also has a sauna, which, come on, I would love to live in an apartment building with a sauna in it. How awesome would that be? I debated going on the gallery and getting some custom art, but I decided not to because the ones that I had saved had English writing on them. And I don't know, I'm a grain of salt kind of person with the English writing in The Sims. It just takes me out of the immersion of the game, I think. I would much prefer a Simlish version just to, blend in a little more. Definitely when it comes to CC, I feel like I'd be more of a Maxis match kind of person. I do very minimal CC here and there, but not often. I'm far more likely to rely on the debug menu in the game than I am to feel like I need to download custom content. I feel like we have enough in the game to make it work, but I also really, really understand the appeal of custom content because I got in so deep into it way back in my OG Sims 2 days. I have to say now because, Sims 2 was re-released along with Sims 1. So, I'll be buying that and playing it. I'm waiting to see if I win a giveaway for the game first. Then I'm gonna buy it because if I can get the game free, I'm gonna try. I am low-key obsessed with this little patio area. It's so cute. I love the little greenery around it. I feel like this is going to be a very populated space amongst the residents of this building. I also kind of went a little all out in the lobby with seating and just general looks. Again, going with when I was talking about the floor plans and the mindset behind them, I wanted this to feel like a little bit more of a higher end, newer building, if not expensive, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's very symmetrical down there in the lobby, but I love it because it looks so nice and clean. This is going to be one of the occupied apartments. It's going to be occupied by a kind of witchy sim, I want to say. I do end up decorating a different unit first though. However, this one here I actually haven't made the Sims for yet. It's going to be a couple living here, I want to say, just because it felt a little more lived in and not even mismatched in the furniture, just a little bit, I don't know, blended. like two people's tastes were here. And I like how full the kitchen looks with the open shelving here. There's actually so many items that slot to these shelves now. I think what's happening is it's not so much those items that are changing, but the way that the EA team is coding the shelving, like it fits what the game deems as larger objects. Or they could be fixing the grid size on some of those miscellaneous decoration items that just don't seem to fit when they should. Yeah, and this couple's going to be into gaming a little bit, whereas our other resident of this building does not like video games. She lives on her own, but she will be in a relationship, so not that you would notice because her apartment's going to be very neat and tidy, and we don't even really know how serious her relationship is. Obviously not serious enough to be a live-in boyfriend. The people that live here are going to like the color red. It's definitely been coming through a lot more in my builds lately. It's not a color I gravitated towards pre-YouTube, but because when I started my YouTube channel, I was trying to be really conscious of the color schemes I was using. I didn't want to fall into the same patterns all the time, putting out the same content so consistently. So I was trying to make sure that I was styling my interiors more different than I typically would. So I was forcing myself to use some color schemes that I normally wouldn't, and red is a huge color that I used to avoid in buildings. So it's kind of nice to have now, I'm not gonna lie, like this knack for decorating with red. Also, this little homey touch that I added in this unit is that their dining table here is a 4-piece chair set, but I actually took one of the chairs from the dining table and put it at the desk because they just don't have a desk chair since moving in here. It hasn't been top priority, and they don't have guests over often, so it's not like they need the dining space. But if they did have another couple over, they have more than enough seating for that. So plus they could go down to the bar and get a drink, hang out in the pool. You never know what your Sims are going to get up to in the wee hours of the night. I used the the Modern Luxe bedroom kit when it came to this room for a few items. I didn't want to go too matchy, but I really adore these wall shelves that came with it, and they're just so cute. We don't have any other glass shelving really in the game, so it was really nice to have those added in. I also put this little cute reading nook here. I kind of did it backwards, I guess, because I'm gonna have the single sim living in the one bedroom plus a junior or den kind of room, but that Sim's gonna be a little bit more into herself and her looks, and so she's gonna have a whole room dedicated to closet space and getting ready for the day. It's gonna be her office because there's gonna be a desk with a computer in there, but it's a glorified closet space. A very, very nice one. I actually shouldn't say glorified. It's a pretty nice, walk-in closet. It's a whole room. You always see those people on House Hunters, if you watch House Hunters, that are like, I can't buy the house unless there's an extra room to dedicate just to my shoes. I saw a guy that needed a room just for his tuxedos one time, and it was a little wild. Like, this guy had a tuxedo for every occasion, and it's just funny to see people's quirks out there. It makes you feel more normal about whatever quirks you have, because we all got them. If you've been paying attention, unlike myself, you'll see that I have moved on to the other apartment that's being occupied here. I wanted to clutter it up just as much, but kind of in a little bit more of a neater way. The Sim's going to be a little particular about her belongings and just keeping everything clean. She is not gonna like slobs, but believe it or not, she's made a little bit of a mess out on her one balcony here with some paint. I really used that artist loft kit for the first time. I haven't really had a chance to, I mean, I shouldn't say I haven't had a chance. I haven't played with a lot of the kits that have come out in the last, I want to say, 2 months. Basically, since Christmas, I've kind of toned back the amount of Sims gameplay I'm doing, and I have amped up my Animal Crossing gameplay in my own personal time. I don't know if that's something that I'll share, because I feel like at this point the game doesn't get updates or anything anymore, and I'm kind of just getting back into it, and I don't know how long that flow is gonna last. I knew when I started Sims content that this flow's not going anywhere. It has been a steady stream for a good 20 years, so haven't been going the whole 25, but pretty darn close. Yeah, I don't know if the hyperfixation will last with Animal Crossing. I know I'll always love the game and I'll always come back to it, but, I can't commit. Commitment issues here sometimes. Sometimes. I am also obsessed with this living room. Can you be obsessed with me? I love, 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 love this sofa. I'm gonna say it's from the Pastel Pop kit. I think the rug was too as well. I just picked a little bit less of a cutesy swatch. The Sim that lives here is going to be a little bit more on the witchy side. There's going to be a lot of dark tones coming through, even though there are some pastel purples. I was building my own gallery wall, and then I found this already made one from Life and Death, so that was kind of awesome, not gonna lie. Taking note for future gallery walls, because there were definitely a couple different swatches in there, so you can change it up from build to build for sure. I cluttered the living room up maybe a little too much. I can't guarantee that you're going to be able to use that second bar stool tucked in the corner, but I really just wanted another space to place a couple items, so I had to get some kind of shelving in there, because again, I wanted this sim to kind of have a neat vibe going on, so I don't know. To me, this made it neater, adding another piece of furniture. Whatever. I can't explain it all the time. I can't even say I've used a lot of these pastel pop items that I've got going on right now. So I really like that I got use out of them at least once. I just find the style, maybe I'm aging myself, but a little young for me, that I feel out of place when I'm using it. Like, I don't know how it's best executed is what I'm trying to say. I think I executed it well here, but in the same breath, was it the right style to pick for a witchy sim? You can have a witchy sim that likes cutesy stuff too. To me, also, some witchy colors are definitely purple and green, so I had that scheme in mind when I was doing this build, which I think it really turned out, so I'm not complaining. I also like that each of these apartments have a balcony on either side, so this one I did the one as like an art balcony, and the other one's just, I don't know, she's got a yoga mat and a little chair there. But for the other apartment, I did do the one off the living space to have a barbecue and I want to say a little seating area, but I'm second guessing myself now. I wasn't paying full attention when I went back over in the speed build, and I can't remember from the initial build either. So whatever you saw, I'll go with, because you probably paid more attention than I did, which maybe shouldn't be the case, but yeah, I apologize. I'm a little out of it right now. I've been battling with a baby every bedtime all week. I say baby, he's a toddler. I gotta admit that. Also, the sign that you know that this is a couple that lives here is because the bedroom, I kind of made it, or oh my gosh, not that a couple lives here, that she has a boyfriend, because I made it look like there's definite sides to the bed, because there's a snapback hat that's a little more masculine, that I'm kind of, playing into that storyline a little bit. Here is the walk-in closet that I was raving about. I definitely picked some colors to coincide with what I wanted this Sims fashion sense to be as well. I'm also realizing that, oh no, I didn't. Why did I think that there was an iPad over there? I thought that there was an iPad on the vanity, and I was like, oh, why did I give her so many iPads? Because there's also one in the living room. But I can confirm I do not see one there. I also know, if you're going to comment, that the poof is facing the wrong way. Not that I'm anticipating negative comments. I would hope I won't get them. But the poof's facing the wrong way, because at least it's usable that way. That's it. That's the only reason. And I will notice that those mirrors are not the right floor height. Don't you worry. I fixed them out right there if you didn't catch it real quick. There's that little yoga area. It's kind of flip-flop depending what side of the building you live on, which side's your living space and which side is your sleeping balcony. Your sleeping balcony. Like your master ensuite balcony. It is kind of how it worked out, actually, that it is off the master, because one of them is just a one bedroom, so obviously, and the other had the bigger room coming off the balcony. Not intentionally, but I do like how that worked out. And don't forget, guys, I make sure you're covered with woohoo spots, so let's go through them here. We've got the dumpster on the side of the building, and we have a hot tub here. Also, can your Sims... No, your Sims can't do it in the sauna. That wouldn't make sense, because it's not an enclosed thing. But regardless, you've got your own shower and beds that you can do it in too, if you want to be vanilla with your Sims, like me. No, I mix it up. I take them to the dumpster once in a while. This was maybe my least favorite part of the landscaping, and this one was making these pathways, because I had to go on one tile at a time, basically, which just felt a little time consuming, but worth it, because I like how the pathways all turn out. The side opposite the dumpster has the mailboxes, just so that it was still symmetrical. I also really love that angled entrance on the side of the lot there. It's just like, I don't know, it finishes out the curb appeal, in my opinion. Same with the little bump out walls all the way around the building. It just adds a little something other than this flat surface. A big flat white, big flat white building stands out like a sore thumb, and these little bump outs kind of fix it. Sorry, my mouth had a weird little thing there that I just couldn't get that word out, but we got there. I also decided that this was the perfect spot for a building like this, because when you're on this lot in San Sequoia, it's the one over by the recreation center. It's the long one that's empty, but it has one tree on it. I did try and keep that tree, by the way. I'm gonna try and wrap this up really quick because we're into the screenshots now. As always, I'm the worst for this, but I picked that lot for this building in particular because if you look at the background, there's a ton of those buildings there, so it blends in really well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've been talking your ear off, so I really appreciate you hanging out and listening to me and just enjoying my content. As always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It really helps me out in the algorithm and just, makes me feel a little more productive about what I'm doing with my time, I guess. So thank you for adding to my productivity levels, because that's what it is in my mind. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, guys.